Hi 5HR, hope you're all well and keeping safe. I think I've got about 11 of you at the moment. If you want to pop a hi in the Q&A, which is in the right, I can see then who is joining me today. Right, I'm going to make a start. So today we are going to look at exploring a text as a reader and as a writer. Our steps to success for today are sequencing key events that have taken place, explaining why the writer has chosen to use certain skills, and making accurate predictions about what might happen next. We're going to read the following 3 texts, but we're going to chunk it up, so we're going to read a little bit at a time, and we're going to look at sequencing the events in the text in chronological order. So first of all, we're going to look at the first part of the text called 12 o'clock. I'm going to read it aloud to you. So if you want to join in at home with a shared read and read along with me, then feel free. As I'm reading it, I want you to think about the key events. So what does Alex do? Because later on, we're going to put them in chronological order. So from beginning to end. OK, so getting ready to read along with me then. Alex has managed to escape his captives and hijacked a plane to get him to London, and quickly before all chaos breaks free, killing millions. 12 o'clock. Alex heard the clock from about 300 feet, with the roof of the Science Museum rushing towards him. He'd seen the building just after the plane had crashed. It hadn't been easy to find, with the city spread out like a 3-dimensional map right beneath him. On the other hand, he had lived his whole life in West London and had visited the museum often enough. First, he had the Victorian jelly mould that was the Albert Hall. Directly south of that was a tall white tower surmounted by a great dome, Imperial College. As Alex dropped, he seemed to be moving faster. The whole city had become like a jigsaw puzzle, and he knew that he'd only had seconds to piece it all together. A wide, extravagant building with church-like towers and windows. That had to be the Natural History Museum. The Natural History Museum was on Cromwell Road. How did you get from there to the Science Museum? Of course, turn left at the lights of Exhibition Road. And there it was. Alex pulled at the parachute, guiding himself towards it. How small it looked compared to the other landmarks. A rectangular building with a flat grey roof jutting in from the main road. Part of the roof consisted of a series of arches. They were a dull orange in colour, curving one after the other. It looked as if they were made of glass. Alex could land on the flat part and look through the curved windows. He still had a gun he had taken from a guard. He could use it to warn the Prime Minister. If he had to, he would use it to shoot Herod Sale. So I want you now to pick out the key events, what Alex does in this text, and put them in order, in chronological order from beginning to end. I'll give you a couple of minutes now to do that. Oh, hi Connie, I can see that you have joined in. And I've got another hi from an anonymous person. So hi, whoever you are. And we've got 18 of you joining in, which is brilliant. A few more seconds and then I'll share with you the events that I picked out from this text. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So first of all, I put that Alex hijacks a plane and flies over to London. Now this part I retrieved in the top where it is in italics. That is still part of the text, even though it's before the title of the chapter. The second part was Alex crashes the plane and jumps out with a parachute. And then the third one is Alex figures out a route to his destination. We're going to look at the next extract now, and you're going to do the same activity as before. OK, again, if you want to do a shared read and read aloud with me, then feel free. Somehow he managed to manoeuvre himself over the museum, but it was only as he fell the last 100 feet, as he heard the clock strike 12, that he realised 2 things. He was falling much too fast and he had missed the flat roof. Next to the flat roof was a second roof made of wide glass with a plastic sheeting over the top. There was the orange roof Alex had seen. He crashed into it feet first, the roof shattered. He continued straight through into it in a chamber, just missing a network of steel girders and maintenance ladders. He barely had time to register what looked like brown carpet stretched out over the curving surface below. Then he hit it and tore through that too. It was no more than a thin cover designed to keep the light and dust off the glass underneath. With a yell, Alex smashed through the glass. At last, his parachute caught a beam. He jerked to a halt, swinging in midair inside the East Hall. This was what he saw. Far below him, all around him, 300 people had stopped and were staring up at him in shock. A bridge made of green glass slats stretched across the hall. There was a futuristic information desk in front of it. At the very centre of everything was a makeshift stage. He saw the Stormbreaker first. Then, with a sense of disbelief, he recognised the Prime Minister standing slack-jawed next to Herod Sale. Alex hung in the air, dangling at the end of the parachute, looking into the villain's eyes. I want you now to pick out the key events, and there's about 4. Okay, and put them in chronological order from beginning to end. I'll give you a couple of minutes and then I'll share with you mine. If you have printed out the text already today, a good thing is actually to underline the events and then you can number them. That's a nice little tip that I used to teach children to do in year 6 with their SATs when you got to the summary sort of questions. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So first of all, Alex falls too quickly and misses his landing spot. He then crashes into the orange roof that he'd seen before. His parachute gets caught on a beam and then he ends up dangling over a crowd of people. And then finally he spots his target. We've just got the final part of the extract now to read, and again we're going to do the same activity. I'm going to do a shared read again, so if you want to join in, feel free. The security men were first to react. Anonymous and invisible beforehand, were now swarming towards him, guns in hands that were once empty. Alex had also drawn his weapon from his holster. Maybe he could explain why he was here before Sale or the Prime Minister activated the Stormbreakers, but he doubted it. Shoot first and ask questions later. A line he had remembered from a terrible film, but even bad films are right. The bullets echoed around the room, surprisingly loud. Now people were screaming and running. The journalists were punching and pushing as they fought for cover from Alex. The first bullet went nowhere. The second hit the Prime Minister's hand, a centimetre from the mouse, which was connected to the Stormbreaker. The third hit the mouse, blowing into fragments. The fourth hit an electrical connection, smashing the plug and short-circuiting it. Sal had dived forward, determined to clip the mouse himself. The fifth and sixth bullets hit him. As soon as the last shot was fired, Alex dropped the gun, throwing his hands up into the air in surrender. He felt ridiculous hanging from the roof, his arms outstretched, but there were already a dozen guns now aiming at him, awaiting further instructions. Upon waiting for what happened next, Alex glanced over to where Sal had been only to see that he had disappeared from sight. So, in this final section, what were the next key events that took place? Again, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to retrieve those key events and put them in chronological order. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The 3 that I retrieved were that Alex shot 6 bullets. Whether you've retrieved whether it was 6 or not, it doesn't matter. If you've just put obviously that he shot bullets, that's fine, but he actually hit the mouse, the circuits, the Prime Minister and Herod Sale. The next thing that happened was that Alex got surrounded by the security officers. You may have put that
I think it's across. It's across.
You need to put then share PowerPoint to screen PowerPoint. Oh, why did this work?
You just clicked it there.
Oh.
Just click.
Add the video below.
Don't be too swanky with dragging.
Why? So add the video from below. Yes. Right. Send live.
I think you are live. And now you are.
Hello 5HR, I'm so sorry about that. Our internet went down at school and we've got an engineer in at the moment and he's managed to get it up live, and I can see 15 of you are still here with me, so thank you ever so much for staying. Woo! I can see lots of you have commented saying hi, and I'll read through those at the end. I can see James is here and Emily's here, so hello to both of you, and I will look at everybody's at the end. So we were on our explanation question, weren't we, before the internet went? So our explanation question is, why does the author use short sentences in this extract? Now, with our explanation and inference questions, we need to answer them in more detail. We need to answer it, we need to prove it from evidence from the text, and then we need to explain it. Now, for this one in particular, we need to think about why the author uses these particular techniques and thinking about the impact it has on the reader. I can see there's lots of short sentences in the first and second paragraph. If I want to pick out some examples to help some of you, he was falling much too fast, the roof shattered, are examples of some short sentences. So I want you to think, why would the author use those particular sentences? What would it make the reader feel? Okay, think about the impact it has on the reader. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes now to answer that question. Okay, so why does the author use short sentences in this extract? Can see I've got James here and I've got Emily. Got lots of anonymous highs, so hi and hello to whoever has sent me one. Hello Demi.
Thank you.
Hi Megan, I can see that you're here. Bella has said hi. Lots of you have put, yeah, the sound has gone, something's happened, it's frozen as we lost the internet, didn't we? Hello Lacey Jane. Got lots of messages to say you've been kicked off. Yeah, that was through the internet. Hopefully you can see me now. Charlie, hello. Thomas, you've said hello. Are you there? I am back now. I hope you are here. I can see 14 of you are still with me, so that's great. Hi, Ali. Hi, Esther. Oh, Lacey Jane says hello to everybody. Hi, Lily Rose. Okay, so let's have a look then at that question. So the author might have used short sentences to create tension and haste. Haste means speed, so it's picking up speed in the text. This is because this is an important moment for Alex. In the text, it says he was falling much too fast. This suggests that Alex has realised he has made a mistake, and so his heart might be racing. And as a reader, your heart might be racing because you might be thinking, well, what's going to happen to him? He's falling. What's he going to do? And then obviously he crashes, and then you think, well, what's he crashing into? What's he going to find when he crashes through the roof? So it's all to do with building tension and haste in this paragraph. We've got one final question to look at, which will help you for the rest of your writing journey. So we're looking at the end of the text, and obviously I know due to the internet loss, it's been a bit of a while since we've obviously read and looked at the text. So we might want to obviously have a read of it again to yourself. But obviously we found that out that Alex shot 6 different bullets at various different objects and people, one being Sale. And obviously at the end of the text, Alex glanced over to where Sale had been, only to see that he disappeared from sight. So we're going to predict at least 2 possibilities that could have happened to Sale. Now I want you to think of 2. If you've read the Stormbreaker book, you obviously may know what the outcome actually is. So you could have put that one, but maybe think of another one. What could the author have put instead? So I want you to think of 2 possibilities. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes if you want to put it in the Q&A, and then obviously at the end I can read out the ones that you've suggested. I know in the previous class with Mr. Beveridge, lots of the children put their predictions, and it was lovely to see what you'd come up with. So I'll give you a couple of minutes now to come up with at least 2 predictions as to what you think has happened to Sale. Okay, let's have a look at then some of the possibilities that I came up with. So one was that Sal could have died from his wounds, because in the text it says that Alex shot him twice. So that's my first possibility. My second possibility is that he may have been seen to by a medical team and therefore could still be alive. And this would give him the chance then to carry out his revenge, his plan that he'd got to get revenge on Alex. So what's next then in your writing journey? So you will be given part of the ending to read, and you will then create your own version of the ending. And you may want to use some of your predictions from this lesson to help you with that. So the next 3 sessions will be about you creating your own version of the ending. And obviously once you've completed it at the end of the week, we would love to see it. So email it in at year5@brindleyacademy.com. Myself, Mrs. Lesniewski and Mr. Beveridge look at all those emails and respond back to you. It's been lovely reading all the different emails and work and seeing the pictures that we've had recently. So please, if you haven't actually sent us any work before, maybe this week send something in for us. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry obviously that we lost connection halfway through. I'm going to have a look obviously at my Q&A and see if there's anything that we can respond to. Bella's back and she can see us. Fantastic. Hello, I'm hopefully back again now. I'm really sorry. Our internet keeps on cutting in and out, and I can see 12 of you have still stayed with me. So thank you ever so much for bearing with us. You never know what happens with technology, do you? So I'm just going to have a look at all your Q&As just to make sure I've obviously answered everybody's. Said hi to everybody that's here. So if you're still with me and obviously want to pop something in the Q&A box for me to respond to, I can do. I'm just trying to go through all the messages and find the last message that we were on. I think it was one from Demi asking if we were going to do any more live sessions. I know that Mr. Martin's going to be doing an assembly on Friday, and then next week Mr. Martin's going to be doing a daily writing lesson, so you can join in with those live and see him. Bella, you've put about he gets shot but is wearing a bulletproof vest. Great idea. Or he's taken prisoner and arrested. Lovely. Connie's put, I think he tried to escape after being shot. Great idea, Connie. Lacey Jane, Alex was aiming in different directions, so Sal could have got shot too. Obviously, we know he did get shot by Alex in there. Hello from Zach. Demi's asked, is this for maths too or not? No, just today it is for English. Ollie's put Mrs. Homer is gone. I am back. Esther's put I'm missing all the teachers. I'm missing seeing all of you guys. It's been lovely to have this live session together and to respond to some of your Q&As in the Q&A box. I would have loved to have seen your faces too, but obviously that wasn't possible today. So yes, I miss you all too. Okay, obviously we will see each other again later this year. Hopefully in September we'll all be back in school. Hello, James. Okay, and I think that's all of the Q&As answered for now. So thank you ever so much for joining in. And if you've stayed with me for the whole time, thank you ever so much for your patience and bearing with us. I hope you're well and keeping safe. Obviously, please send in messages, work, pictures to the Year 5 at bruneleyacademy.com. We love reading them and we love responding to them. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.